Okay, so now I'm going to read from a manuscript I'm working on called Just Saying. This first one, unlike a lot of my poems, you kind of have to read it almost in one breath, so it's a little different that way. Old school. Pull strings taut and something like points reappear in the model. Take place. Momentum is conserved. Carry elementary clone world punctuation. Hostile. Fetus. Cancer is old school. Impersonal. Carry imperial aspirations. To aspirate is to breathe in and choke. Nobody wants this. Nobody did this to me, screams now blind Cyclops. Nobody's listening. Is conserved. So that had a bit of a play on the physics, I mean on a lot of things, but one of them was that physics maxim that momentum is conserved. So sometimes I like to read about physics, and mostly, of course, it's just really mind-boggling. And but somehow I get a kick out of that. And sometimes I pick up language from it, you know. So this is kind of in 3 parts, but the first 2 parts are an engagement without language. Dress up. To be dressed is to emit virtual particles. The spirit of renormalization is that an electron, all by itself, can have infinite mass and charge, but when it's dressed, a toddler stares at us till we look up. Flirtatious, we call it. She waits until we get the joke about being here, being there. And then this next one also, this is my last physics one for a while, but this one I wrote after having lunch with an astrophysicist. And I thought I was going to ask him questions, but of course it was kind of like that Wittgenstein thing about if a lion could speak, we wouldn't understand him. So I think he understood my questions, and I didn't understand his answers. But so the poem's not really about what he said, it's more just a sort of dramatization of this. Accounts for Brian Keene. Light was on its way from nothing to nowhere. Light was all business. Light was full speed when it got interrupted. Interrupted by what? When it got tangled up and broke into opposite. Broke into brand new things. What kinds of things? Drinking cup. Thinking of you. Convenient ballet. How could speed take shape? Hush. Do you want me to start over? The fading laser pulse, information describing the fading laser pulse, is stored, is encoded in the spin states of atoms. God is balancing his checkbook. God is encrypting his account. This is taking forever. My apocalypse. A woman writes to ask how far along I am with my apocalypse. What will you give me if I tell? An origami fish made from a $1 bill. After the apocalypse, we will all be in a band. We will understand each other perfectly. It's all right and it doesn't matter. Let it stand for nothing. A weathered, fleshy bicyclist wearing bunny ears and a tie-dyed shirt says zoom as she coasts past. Someone really did write to me and ask me to describe my version of the apocalypse. Arrivals. Sign in the airport. It's not how much cloud, but what kind. Welcome. We don't play requests, but we don't play bagpipes either. We figure that's fair. That's the bad boy sass of globalization kickstarting you on Clear Channel, where even the spin gets spun. Here's one. The devil is a blousy, failed executive who fires burnouts, star after star. Every known object rotates as if B, keeping busy, C, stunned. This one I I wrote part of in LA, at the MLA actually. The second part is partly describes what I saw out of the Hilton's window looking towards the Staples Center, I guess. It's not all about that. I define terror, the shooter says, and types out the dictionary. The government controls us through grammar and new currency. Red car at the center of the circle maze, formed by an illegible white sentence.